To create a new form, start from your drive and click New, and then go under here to where it says More. Google Forms will come up first. You'll have two choices between a blank form and a template. We're going to learn how to do this from a blank form. Start by giving your form a title. We are going to do a survey about desserts. When you type the title here, all you have to do is come over here and click Untitled Form, and that will automatically grab what you put there. Later, if you decide to change it, you'll have to go in here and actually change it. Underneath the title is the form description. This is optional. You don't have to put anything, but you can give your audience a little bit of an introduction. Let's take a look at the settings. You have general settings, presentation settings, and quiz settings. We're going to cover the quiz settings in a completely different video, so we're going to skip those for now. The general settings. The first is whether or not you want to collect email addresses from the people that filled out your form. It's set up unchecked, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. If I checked it and then I check response receipts, this means that the people who filled out the form would actually get a receipt that lists their responses. So for most cases, you're really not going to need this. So we're going to just leave all this unchecked. Right now, it's checked that people who are in my organization are the only ones allowed to complete this. If I uncheck this, that means that anybody who gets the link to the survey can take it. So if you want it to be sort of open to the public, then you would uncheck that. Otherwise, if you want it limited to only people in your school or organization, then you would check that. You can also check limit to one response. That means for every Google login, only one person can respond. So you can use the same computer for multiple people, but they need to be logged into different Google accounts in order to do that. That prevents the same person from taking the survey over and over and over again. So you can check that too if you think that could be a problem. Two other options here. One is that they can edit their responses after they submit. That's automatically unchecked, but if you want them to be able to do that, then you can check that. And also, you could give them the option to see a summary of other people's responses. So these are automatically unchecked, so I'm going to leave them like that. I'll click Presentation. Here's a couple of other options. One is to show them a progress bar as they go through the survey. It shows them how much further they have to go. So if you want to have that show, you check that. Shuffle question order. Let's say you have 10 questions. If you want them to receive the questions in a different order from the way another person might receive them, then check that. That's an option that sometimes people would use if they're maybe giving a quiz and they don't want people to copy off of each other. They might check that for that reason. If you're allowing people to submit multiple responses, then you may want to show a link that would allow them to submit another response. For most surveys, you're probably not going to want to do that though. And then the last thing here is the confirmation message. When the person has finished taking their quiz or their form or completing your survey, they're just going to get a message that says your response has been recorded. If you would like to change that, you can. You can also use this space to sort of give them instructions for what they need to do next. Maybe you want them to do something after they take the survey. You could give those instructions here. So whenever you're done looking at the settings and getting them the way you want, you just click Save. The last thing we're going to look at is the color palette. Right now, this is just the default purple, but you can change the background color by clicking this palette here and choosing a different color, and that changes the whole thing. Your other option is to choose an image for the header. This background here, you can put a different image. They give you a whole bunch of other ones to choose from if you want, so I could pick that and click Select, and then it puts that picture back here, and it changes the background color. And Google just sort of guesses what color they think would go best with this picture. You can also upload your own picture. So I'll click Upload Photos. I'll select a photo from my computer. Okay, this has nothing to do with dessert, but it's just to show you how it works. They'll give you the picture and then you get this little window. You can use this to crop your photo so that just the part that you want is what shows in this area at the top. So I'll click Select. So as you can see, it doesn't even necessarily show the part that you thought it would. So I wouldn't waste a lot of time on that. I think I would probably just pick something and stick with it and not mess around too much with adding a photo. But that's how you can do that. And that is how you get started with your new form.